You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
This podcast is presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who have been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com, and then definitely follow them on Instagram for all the information that you need, because I'm sure that's where you follow us as well, at oklahomahof. Let's get into today's episode.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode up in Guthrie today. Guthrie America with Heady Coleman. If you're from Guthrie, you know exactly who Heady is. But if you don't, previous episode we've done, gosh, probably 6-7 months ago, maybe longer than that.
Maybe a year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. I'll link that in the description below, what number one that is. A lot about your story and how you got to where you were. But if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or seeing some of the clips on Instagram, we're in Heady's beautiful studio because Heady has his own podcast, and we've just spent 10-15 minutes learning and telling me about all the amazing equipment he's using and how I need to up my game.
Actually, I would say that we're probably more talking about how you need to not up it, just stay right where you're at. Just use what you got and make great audio.
It would make good audio. But welcome back to the podcast, coming on for the second time. I mean, for those people who haven't listened to the first one, I guess, what do you do now?
Yeah, so a lot of the same things that I did then. I'd say that my personal mission statement is to help people go further better by teaching them the go-win approach. I'm also a pastor of a church here locally called North Church. We also have a location in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. I'm also part owner of Made Possible By, if you can see that. I think you can see that, Made Possible By, and we help, we help make good loud. Okay. And so we provide, we save small businesses and mid-sized businesses time and money in order for them to do good in their community. Yeah. And I'm married to a very wonderful woman named Bernadette, and we have 3 children. And we get to do life here in Guthrie America, which I love, and we continue to work hard to try to make it better around here. So
that's awesome. So with things going on at the moment, I mean, everyone that knows you knows that you love greeting people.
Yes.
Corona's not let you greet anybody.
My goodness, no.
How do you feel?
Like, I don't know what to do with myself. I had just started that maybe a year or so ago, where I put a link on my website in order for people to invite me to come and greet at their events or whatever, birthday parties, weddings, all these different things. And then Corona hits. And so my goal was to greet 10,000 people. Last year I greeted 5,000. Okay. And the way that I determine that number is I will ask the people from their event how many people were at your event, right? And so last year I did 10,000, but one of those events had over 2,000 people, which helped me big time. But this year, for 2020, I had gotten a sponsor. I wanted to do 10,000 people. Yeah. It's the best thing ever. If I could just do that full time, just greeting at people's events, I would do it. Yeah.
Coming in, high-fiving. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Conversation. Like for people who just getting to talk, you meet all sorts of people. People and not that I get to know them, right? But the mayor of Oklahoma City, that's how I first met him. And, just all sorts of cool stuff.
Well, they remember you too, right?
Yes.
That's like one of the many things that people can remember you by. And something simple as just, I'm the guy who gives you a high five and a smiling face that greets you when you come to your event, regardless of what event it is.
Yes. Yeah. And so then people start seeing me at multiple events.
Yeah.
So then you become the greeter guy.
Yeah. That's how we met.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Creative Mornings.
Yep, Creative Mornings. I was greeting Creative Mornings, and so it's the best gig ever. So right now I'm looking at October and trying to do a different retail store during their busy hours, because I think now people are a little bit more comfortable, and I don't even have to really touch them. Right. I just want to say hello to you, welcome, thank you for being here. Yeah. And so I don't have to high five them or anything. We can do that from a distance. And so I'm looking at getting back at it because, again, so many people were like reaching out to me, and people find it super interesting, and I love doing it. I'm all about people. So.
Well, and now you're in your second year of wearing red socks every day.
I'm in my second year of wearing red socks every day. So my 45th year of life, one of the 45 things that I wanted to be consistent in was wearing red socks every day. And so now I've turned 46 in June, and I'm still wearing Red Sox every day. And I just got a big bag of Red Sox in because I'm partnering with Prodigy Jiu-Jitsu in order to give a pair of Red Sox away every month. And so I'll be talking.
Yeah.
You're the first place. I hadn't even did my
That's
video
so
yet.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm giving away a pair of Red Sox every month for the next 12 months. And so thank you, Prodigy Jiu-Jitsu, for partnering with me. Because it's all about building community, right?
Yeah.
And so the way community happens is we all have something that connects us. And so the thing that will connect me and these people that I'm giving these Red Sox to is the Red Sox. Yeah. And so Prodigy Jiu-Jitsu is they teach jiu-jitsu, and I just think they have a fabulous community in the way that they do that. Gyms in general, Coda,
Coda does a great job.
Yeah, Coda does a great job of that, and there's some other places that I know. It's just real easy to build community around that. Runners, build community around running. So I'm building a community around Red Sox. So.
Yeah, there's something about like building. It's very easy to build a culture and community around a team that works out together or sweats together or goes through a grueling task together. It's hard to explain, isn't it? But if you've been in it, if you're a member of a gym, especially like CrossFit, you work out together.
Yes.
Don't you? In jiu-jitsu, and it's a whole, I don't know, it's fascinating to see that stuff for sure.
Yeah. No, and I love it. And I love learning from the people who do it, like Jared and Bryce at Coda and Nacho, and those guys do a fabulous job. And they also do great stuff in the city to give back and support different families and things of that nature when tragedies come along. Yeah. They're big into mental health. So those are the kind of things that I have not greeted for them. I need to talk to them about greeting one of their events.
And
stuff. I have not greeted for.
They just had one of their biggest ones of the year. It's called the First Timers Open. Okay. And I'm not CrossFit. I'm not a CrossFit guy, but I know enough about it. Enough friends that do it, and all of my friends said that it's the best event because the First Timers Open, meaning it's a lot of these CrossFit guys, they like competition, don't they? And they compete and stuff. But it's basically if you're a rookie, all the rookies who in CrossFit compete for the first time ever, and kind of do that, and it's like. That would have been a cool one to go to. And they didn't think they'd have it because of COVID and everything going on. They had events cancelled, and obviously CrossFit, you're in a sweaty gym. There's hundreds of you in there with fans and everyone watching, and they finally managed to have it with some outdoor help. So that was a couple of months ago. And I know you had Jared and Nacho on, right, recently?
Yeah. So wait, we had them on our Made Possible by podcast.
Okay, one of them,
Conversations around good, and we had them on there. So Jared was my best man at my wedding.
I didn't know that. I know you guys were close, but I didn't know.
You didn't know it was that close.
Yeah.
There's three of us. So there's Chan, Jared, and myself. Okay. And so they were both best men at my wedding.
Yeah.
So,
did he have a terrible mohawk for the wedding or not?
No, at that time he did not. At that time he was not. Terrible. He had not found that. At that time, I want to say.
Was he a golf pro at that time?
He may have been either a golf pro or he was doing lawn.
Okay.
Sorry, he started a lawn business. Yeah. And I call him Pat. Pat has found ways to be successful at everything that he's done. Yeah. He's been able to make a living doing it. And so, and it's crazy. But he was a really good basketball player in high school. I don't know if you didn't know that. And then also, I think he was the valedictorian of his class.
So he's an all-rounder. Yeah, because you see him and you just think this guy walks in with a mohawk, and it's just like he kind of plays the idiot, doesn't he? Right? And obviously, no, he's a very successful business owner.
Six CrossFits across the country, right? And, he's valuable. So don't let him.
I saw him recently. He talking about Coda and charity. He's running a bunch of ultra marathons recently, this month,
for mental health.
Or in October. Is it October? Or is it? I think it's October.
I think October.
Yeah, for mental health. That's right. For mental health month, October. So, he told me about it. He's like, "Do you want to join me?" I'm like, "Where are you running? How much are you running?" Like, I haven't ran since March last year.
Is it a run or a walk?
No, well, it's just I think he's doing. I think it's 100 miles.
100 miles, yeah. But I think I guess you could do either one. Yeah. Right? But I guess you got to do the 100 miles. But he's nuts. He's
crazy.
So I'm probably out of the three of us, I'm probably the least successful. Okay. Like Chan's a dentist in Edmond. Very successful practice, but we have all found ways to support one another. But
and I think as far as community impact goes, you're all on level terms with that, right? Because Coda does a great job, and I'm sure Chan does a great job of community impact, and you as well, for sure, do a great job of community impact.
Yeah.
I don't think on the last podcast we talked so much about Made Possible by. You want to share some stuff about that? How people can help out and get involved?
Yeah. So essentially, made possible for those businesses that are community-minded businesses. Oftentimes, what they find is that they want to give back, they want to be involved in their community, but when people come and make those requests, the time that is spent for them to make that decision on if they're going to support XYZ organization or Little League football team or whatever. So we give them a way to be able to invite those people to submit their request online, and then that request comes to them in an email, and then they get to be able to look over that and not have to take time away from their work. And so then they can look at it, so they can say, hey, every Friday I look at my requests that were submitted. And then they can go look at it and it's like, hey, I'm going to support this. But another great thing the site does is it gives people the opportunity to come, and the businesses have their values connected to their community impact page. So now somebody can be like, oh, this person gives to education and sports. I'm mental health, or I'm whatever. And then it doesn't line up with that. So I'm not going to, maybe I can find, because there'll be other businesses on there as well that you make it find that can support you in that way. But we just like to come alongside small business, mid-sized business, maybe even a big business to help them do good in their community. Because I don't think people understand or realize sometimes that, one, you need small business in order for your economy to grow and make a difference, And then in that, people are looking based on how their communities are giving to one another if they're going to come and start their business there. So one of the times we had a conversation with Stillwater Chamber of Commerce, and they were saying, hey, we just had a business looking at us to potentially move it. And then one of the things that they asked us is like, how does your community give back? Like, what is the other businesses doing? And they didn't have a real way of showing them exactly how much these businesses, but Made Possible by gives opportunity for that, so people can come in and say like, man, Rick's one of our champion, we call them champions, is killing it. Like, you can just see how different people are giving back in their community. So
that's a real cool service to provide for companies, because you're right, they have so many decision makers, and they've actually got to conduct real business and keep the do the job, and then everyone wants to make a difference and add value and give money back to the community, but sometimes it's an afterthought, isn't it, compared to like running day-to-day business.
For sure. Unless let's talk about Coda. Coda is one of our champions, but they have Nacho, who that's his primary focus is how do we continue to give back and be in the community making a difference. Not everybody has that person on their team, but Coda does. But Coda's still in that, even having that person, you still want to organize a way of getting those submissions, being able to track that, and then turn around and be able to tell the story of good that you're doing. A lot of people look at that as bragging, but I try to explain to people, no, that's inspiration. Like, you sharing the good that you're doing is not about you bragging. It's about inspiring others to join you in doing the great work that you're doing, because you can't do it by yourself. As much as you love to do it and enjoy doing it, you need other people who are going to come alongside you and be able to make a difference with you. So telling the story is inspiring, not about bragging.
Definitely. It's like it's easy to show up to an event with your tent and your company and hand out stuff. It's not easy to pick what event you're going to be at, schedule to be someone to be there.
That's right.
Right. And if someone sends you, like what you do, someone sends you, hey, there's this event, it's on a Monday, you could be out there 4 hours. There's these many people here. It's for this, charity or cause. Do you want to be there? Yes or no? And then that's it. It's a yes or no answer. That's so simple.
Yes. Or do I want to give 1,000? Yes or no? Whatever that may look like. So that's the work that we do, and we're still trying to figure it out, because COVID, now that COVID has come in place, we were really starting to ramp up, and people are starting to recognize us. But people aren't giving. People aren't going out and having events to need that support. So things have changed, just like any other business. But we'll figure it out. We're in it just like everybody else.
It's like giving and charity and fundraising has been impacted. Really, it's been hit hard, isn't it, with that stuff? And some of the boards that I'm on this year, and like, we haven't met in person yet. Everyone's been over a Zoom call. And yesterday afternoon it was an hour 30 Zoom call with the one of the boards I'm on. I'm like, I just want to get together and see people, and like, it's you have such a emotional impact when you are there helping people in person, aren't you? Like, that's probably why you love doing greetings so much, is because you get to feel how they feel. You see their smile, and like, if they're not happy, like, well, you know, you can't do that over a Zoom call.
No.
It feels like, you know, it's like when you pay someone or do something, like you'd rather meet them in person and hand them the money or send them a note rather than just like text them or like, I don't know. It just, personal interaction is giving, isn't it? You know, and it goes hand in hand.
One of the things that I realized too as a speaker, like when people invite you to an event, you get to speak in front of people. And I love the interaction of it. Like the thing that I probably love most about going to speak somewhere is that I get to walk around before I get to speak and talk to people, get to know people, touch people. When somebody says, hey, you want to come be a keynote speaker on a Zoom call?
Yeah.
Wow.
And everyone's on mute, and you're cracking jokes and nobody's laughing, and you're like, was that funny to people or not? I hate that feeling.
Some people aren't.
They've gone to video or something. They turn their video off. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So those kind are they like I'm recording a video now for some conferences, and it's just not. It's just not the same,
is it?
It's not the same. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get back out there and start greeting. And again, I don't have to touch people. I just want to be able to see people in their eyes, say hello to them, make them feel good coming in and leaving. It just makes a difference. And so
you just stand outside Penn Square Mall. As soon as COVID was over, they're like, I'm going. I need to go to the store. They're queuing out the door.
I did a big concert or something like. That was one of the funnest things. Is and the cool thing too, like. Other people have been saying, hey, I want to come with you to greet.
Yeah.
That's like, that's really cool.
Good.
You know, and so, so I have people who are waiting for us to go and greet at each event.
Maybe a drive-through event or something like that. That'd be easy, wouldn't it?
I just need to greet.
Yeah.
Please drive through.
Just drive through,
That is pretty. I may do something like this instead of drive-by birthdays and all this stuff, like a drive-by greeting, just so I can get it down my system.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, I saw the Thunder had like a huge drive-by rally for when the Thunder were in the playoffs, and people are coming up with very creative ideas to do things.
Yes.
Which is it's good to see. Cool. Things have changed a lot.
It's cool.
There is good that's come from this. But tell me about. So I'm in one of your go-in circles.
Yeah.
Having a great time. We're on week 4 or 5. 4, I think. You know, there's 6 of us in it, right?
Yeah.
5 of us in it. Tell us about that, because I know I'm from a personal experience. I'm having a great time and connecting with people who I would have never met.
Yeah.
And even we're outside. We meet once a week, but outside of that, we're talking and connecting. Yeah. So, tell us about that. What was the idea behind that? And then how's that going?
Before COVID, I did circles, and I would bring 10 people, and we would sit around a table and we'd go 2 hours. And it's almost so I do these go-in conversations. My podcast is Heady Coleman Podcast. I have go-in conversations with people, and essentially what happened was I would have 10 people and we would have a big go-in conversation. We'd have a discussion. Yeah. And that discussion was mainly about how do we get to know one another. And those questions that I asked people hopefully let all of us know about one another. And then at the end of that 2 hours, the last question I would ask is, how can we help you?
Right.
And then those people would say something that they would need help around. For example, we met at Creative Mornings.
Yeah.
Creative Mornings happened because of a go-win circle.
Okay.
At the end of the go-win circle, this was in person, 10 people.
Yeah.
Hannah says, hey, I want to start Creative Mornings. These are some of the things I need. Just so happens, and I didn't do this intentionally, whatever, it kind of gives you chill bumps. She needed a video done, so there's a videographer there.
Yeah.
She needed a place to host the event, and so there was somebody there that their company had an event. And so you had all these things, and from that, she was then able to submit the application. Creative Mornings happens.
Yeah.
And now I think it's going on year 3 or 4.
Oh, it's amazing.
Because of COVID, it's kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But so when COVID happened, I'm like, man, how can I do these circles, make them smaller? I wanted to do a type of mastermind kind of thing, but put my own twist on it.
Sure.
And essentially, it's all about accountability, feedback, and community. Accountability based on a win that you've defined for yourself. Yeah. How can we hold you accountable?
Yeah.
2, when you hit a hard place or having challenges, how can we get feedback? How can we help you in that? And then 3, community. I think community is about cheering each other on.
Right.
Community is about getting to know one another. And the thing that ties us and makes us community is this whole idea of this go win.
Yeah.
Like we've defined a win for ourselves, and then the go is what are those right things that you need to be consistent in, which a lot of what the circles is, I continue to form them and learn them. This is my second one. I think you're my second one. It's going to be a lot about what are those right things that you've lined out for yourself to be. That's where we hold you accountable on. Yeah. But then when those things aren't working, we give you feedback and help you. So, but it's by far probably one of my favorite things I'm doing right now.
Oh, I'm sure. Just to connect for an hour with a group of people, you know, once a week for 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and see people progress through that, and how people, you know, what's your win for today or win for this week? And, and even though they might seem super small, or to some other people that might be like, well, I don't understand why that's a win. To the other person, it's a huge, big deal, isn't it?
Yes. It's really cool. So my first circle was 12 weeks, and so we're almost done with that one, and we're like, it's already, because we thought 12 weeks would be too long. I was thinking 12 weeks would be too long, and that's usually I made the second one 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
But then I like just 12 weeks, and I feel like we are in a good. We're just now getting in a good place, a rhythm, you know. And so I'm like, well, maybe I need to go back to 12 weeks. But another thing that I'm going to do out of this is so we use Basecamp for our circles, and you all were the first circle that I used Basecamp on. And so what I'm going to do is make this Go In community Basecamp to where it'll be a community of people who can ask questions around,
like alumni who are in it,
like a win that they have, And so I'm gonna start that out, and we're gonna see if we can put a monthly thing to it, or kind of subscription based, and grow it and continue to help people and achieve the wins that they want, because I believe that that's part of how we live out our greatest story. So the win is all about the story.
Sure.
As Mike, as you grow in whatever your win is, and as you're telling it to other people, right? Like, man, I did X, Y, Z, or I did this. That's how you're like, man, that's so interesting. And then also you're telling the challenges of getting there. So that's what the circle is about.
It's so interesting, you know, how our worlds are coming together from people you've never met before, and how similar, you know, people are, and similar interests or a need, right? And there's someone in that group, or someone knows someone that your need is covered. It's amazing. I love it. It's just like, you know, I don't want to Google anything. I just ask my group now. You know, like, hey guys, you know, done this before? Oh yeah, do this, and this. You know?
And it's much better to add. Even Google's great, but even I don't know if you find this. Like, I'll be sitting around with my family, and we'll be trying to come up with something. We could easily Google it. But we just keep asking. I was like, I do not know the answer. But it lets you know, like, we want to know from one another.
Right.
Google's there. Any moment. I can pick it up right now and ask how I can get to XYZ. But it's not like asking Mike, somebody that I know, somebody I love or care about and want to see, or see them invest back. It's just, so it's really cool.
What else we'll talk about you recently. What else has been going on? I know, you know, following you and seeing that your son's getting into tennis, so you're into tennis now, right? And how that's going, and then you know, you got other kids as well who are super creative, right?
So man, the father life is always interesting, because in the same way that I'm trying to help other people with these Go In circles, we have a Go In circle right in my house, right? And so my oldest son is 22. He still lives with us, and he's discovering some cool things about himself that he's being consistent in to get to the place that he wants to be. And then my middle son, Zell, he's reselling. So he's doing that. He's running his own business. He's 15, a freshman. He's a freshman. And then also tennis. And so and he's probably the kid that I'm most involved with. But the reason is he's always attacking me, in the sense of, like, not attacking, but he's always asking me to, Dad, I want to do, Dad. Well, the other two are super reserved. My youngest daughter is super reserved. My oldest son is super. But my middle son, oh my goodness, I'm just thankful that they're all three not like me.
He's more like you.
He's more like me. They would wear me out, because he's wearing me out. But it's fun though. We're playing tennis. My youngest daughter's an artist.
That's right.
So she draws and does some amazing work. The funny thing is, when she first started drawing, she would bring me stuff. I was like, oh girl, you can, you know, in my mind I'm thinking like, oh, you can trace really good.
That's cute.
That's cute. And then one day, I can't remember if she drew something.
Keep going.
She drew something, but we were at an event or something. So there's no way that she could have traced this.
So you're like, hang on a second, who did that for you?
Yes. So then I realized, like, oh my goodness, she's an artist. And so ever since then, we put I love getting involved with my kids the best I can. So we had her, like, she was 6 or 7, 6 maybe 6. So she wrote a book, like a small book. She what do they call it whenever you have pictures with it? Like a story.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm terrible. Yeah, typical podcast thing, right? We can never think of the right word, and people listening are like, it's this. I know you're
message this is Oklahoma on Instagram if you know DM. But
pictures and words.
Yeah. So she did a book.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, it was super cool. So because here we do this thing called we were doing these things, and I need to do them again. Kids Entrepreneur Day.
Okay.
And so here in Guthrie America, so we would let people register, kids register, and we would set up a day where they can come and sell stuff out on the. So we've done it in front of here and all that, and they could come and sell stuff, and they would have their own little booths or whatever. Yeah. And she sold her books at that and sold out. I think we actually owe some people some books because we.
You guys are 20. I'll take one whenever you make it. Yeah.
So it was a great investment, but my son playing tennis. I know a lot of people because I post about it more so than some of the other stuff. But man, so I've dedicated 3 to 2 hours a day to play tennis with this kid. And oh my goodness, I don't know. Like today,
I'm getting worn out.
I'm limping today. If you see me walking slow and you're wondering why, you see me walking around town or whatever, it's because I am wore out from tennis. Oh my goodness. So I think I need some new shoes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's fun though. I like tennis. Do you play tennis?
I mean, no, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at tennis.
Oh my god. Tennis is fun.
Golf and tennis don't go together.
Yeah,
like it's
the swing.
Yeah, I swing like I play golf, and the ball seems to skyrocket, and it never comes back down over the net. You know, like the whole topspin thing. Yeah, I'm like, that was really good, and it's over the head.
I love tennis.
Yeah.
And I need to be in better shape because that's what makes me not love it sometimes.
Well, of course.
I'm just so out of shape and I can't keep playing. But I love tennis. It's just a good sport that you can play, especially if you play doubles. Yeah. You can play for long because you don't have to cover as much court, right?
Right.
But it's a fun sport.
Yeah.
He's enjoying it.
So for people listening, they know that Guthrie is a super cool town. I think it's getting more recognition now because of Instagram and all the rest of it, right? Social media is doing great things. But you see it, and you've seen it from living here your whole life.
Yeah.
What's the town like at the moment? Where's it going? What should people come up? Because I think most people probably go to Instagram and they see the coffee shop, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to go get coffee. But there's all these other cool businesses. There's Dorwart's making his boots, and there's another boot maker here, right? The fashion side of things. And you mentioned the Staple restaurant you went to earlier. For people that come to Guthrie on what should they do and what's the town like at the moment? Because I know you're obviously very involved. Church and the rest of it and stuff like that.
So the downtown just in general is probably one of the more beautiful downtowns its size probably in America. Just the architect, the history behind every building. That's something that you'll find a lot of people if you come on the weekends and walk around Guthrie. People are taking pictures. They're doing photo shoots here because of the backdrop is amazing. Yeah. Also, we have movies come. Like right now, we have a movie. Dennis Quaid is in town, and they're filming a movie because Guthrie is just one of those unique places. It's a great location. So if you just want to come in for the ambiance, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. That's one of the things that's great about it. And when you're growing up, like when I was growing up, I didn't appreciate. Like,
of course,
I didn't even know. Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, my house was built in 1908. What? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
But now I've lived in 2 houses that are that old. My grandparents built the home that I grew up in, and it was built in like 1920 something, or so those kind of things. Like the houses we were once known for, and still are known for, our Victorian homes and having the most in the country. Antique shops, a lot of people come here to shop antiques, which kind of, again, it may not be our favorite thing about our town, but it makes us a unique town, which helps tell the story of our town. But talking about little shops and stuff, of course, Hoboken is super popular, internet famous kind of place. But then you have Rick's, which is also a coffee, but they do chocolate. as well. And just so I always try to get people like, when I'm putting something together for people to come do, I'm like, okay, this is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Come on a Saturday, grab you some donuts from Missy's, which is a great donut shop. And when I meet people are like, I've been to Missy's. I'm sneaking down there. Great donut shop. There's one right off the highway, second exit into Guthrie.
Okay.
And then I tell them to stay a little bit, go walk downtown, because it's gorgeous in the mornings when the sunrise and all that stuff is happening. Then you get to a certain place, go grab you some coffee from Hoboken. Then go have lunch at Stables, which has been here since 1989, I think, or something like that. Or earlier, in 1988. I think they're about 30 years around now. Go get you a lunch, and then go over and get you some chocolate from Rick's. And then after that, just go make you a list of everything else that you need to do afterwards. If you come during the week, you can go talk to Ray. His door is open. He makes boots.
And the dog.
Yeah. This guy's been making boots for people all over the world, literally, and you will not find a better storyteller. Like, he has all the best stories. He's a cowboy through and through.
The best mustache.
Gorgeous boots. And he's teaching the cool things. Like, so he goes to our church with me as well, which makes my church even that much cooler, right? You got Heady Coleman, African American guy,
and the most country dude ever in Raymond,
with his mustache and cowboy hat. So if you're wondering what North Church is like, and then the music's very contemporary, like, that's kind of how we roll. But another cool thing is Ray brings people into his shop and teaches them how to make boots. And we have a young lady now in town from Brooklyn learning how to make boots from Ray.
Okay.
And so that kind of stuff is just
he's
mind
world
blowing.
famous.
He's world famous. He's world famous. Lisa's world famous. The other lady.
That's what I couldn't.
Lisa Sorrell, world famous for making boots as well. And they're both here in Guthrie, America. Which, that's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing.
When you come up here and you start diving into the stories and the people, and then you figure out how much like world impact this little town has, or the city has, like, you just like, it's gone a long way from just being the original like state capital, right?
Oh yeah.
Whereas everyone was like, cool, Guthrie, that's the original. But now it's becoming and growing, and it's getting, I'd love to see it. There's a lot of more people coming up here, and obviously the guys over at
Prairie Wolf.
No, Prairie Wolf too, but what's the staycation place? The massive house over there.
Oh, Dominion House.
Yeah. Those guys doing
602
great.
Bristol.
So good.
Dominion House, beautiful weddings. Like
Trey and
Julie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you interviewed them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
A while back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Were they before me?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if that's so.
Because I have
no idea.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a while back. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah. Because I don't say. I've been following you since
Trey gave me a tour of it. It was a Dominion House.
Was the hotel there then?
That was awesome. Yeah, the hotel was in, and then also the 602 Bistro was there. Fried avocados, like pizza, or
amazing
you want fine
place
dine if you want. Oh, it's beautiful.
If you need a weekend to do all the things that I listed, come stay at Dominion House. Yeah. Then go do all those things.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram, Heady.Coleman. Reach out to me. I will come meet you wherever you.
You'll greet them.
I will greet you. But come hang out. We would love it. But there's so many things. I probably shouldn't start name dropping because how do I leave?
You go into every store. Yeah. There's a story in every store. There's a personality in every store. And for most things, those store owners have been here for a very long time, or their parents owned the store before they did. Right? It's a generational thing.
Yeah. So talking about Guthrie and why people come, oftentimes it's around an event.
Yeah.
So 89ers, Territorial Christmas, Bluegrass. So there's all these different events that people come here for, and then they end up either coming back and living or moving here. Like, we have those kind of stories. But with COVID, those kind of things aren't happening right now. So Guthrie has not had the traffic that it typically does. Oh, then we have the Lazy E here.
Of course. Huge
my goodness.
National attention,
Talking about bringing people from all over the country, the Lazy E does that for us as well. And there's an airport here, the Guthrie Edmond Airport. So there's a lot of cool things. Yeah. And as Edmond grows, it's kind of moving into Guthrie. But there's a lot of young families starting to come here. Our superintendent and the community just rallying behind our schools have allowed for us to pass a couple of bond issues that's been able to invest back into our schools. So we're seeing a lot more. Again, but COVID is changing how people are doing school, including my kids. But yeah, man. So all those things are really making me proud, that much more proud of my town and being able to be here. And we just continue to look and see how we can get better. Tipsy Artist. Yeah. Tipsy Artist is bringing in, before COVID again, bringing in people from all over the place to be a part of her events. And she's traveling a lot of places to do that. Have you had her?
Is that like the one?
You had Joe.
I had.
Did you have Joe?
No.
On your podcast? Her husband?
No. I don't know. What do they do?
He does.
It's like the artist.
He does he's the artist.
Yeah.
He does the surfboards.
Not yet.
The punk shop.
No.
Oh man, I thought you didn't.
No, I just need to go knock doors and just say, "Hey, will you be just come out?" He's just spent a month the period just record a podcast with everybody.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Joe, Neil.
There's so much content.
Our great Joe and Tiffany. Now, again, talking about my church, they go to our church.
Yeah.
So you have Joe and Tiffany. Once you see them and get to meet them, Ray and Heady, I'm just telling you,
covered.
Talking
Everything's
about diversity,
yeah,
and not just ethnicity, but just how people roll and how they, So,
well, you just mentioned Sir Joe does surfboards.
So he goes punk
surfboards, and then you
my goodness,
and then you have Ray, and then you have you and everyone else. It's.
Man, I'm telling you, that's really so.
It's a sight to see, I'm sure.
Talking about having a studio podcast studio. So now I want to get to a place to where, as we're talking,
you have
about
a screen. You can.
I have a screen.
Yeah.
We gotta get there.
I gotta get on Joe Rogan's level.
But since we don't, but I just got to show you, Joe, so you'll understand. Let me see.
But these are all people that live in and go to your church, right?
Yeah, they go to our church. Yeah, they go to our church.
Raymond and Bo have been on the podcast previously, and they were awesome. Raymond still has a flip phone, and one of the greatest clips I think from that podcast is he said, "I have a face page." I almost fell off my chair.
Oh my goodness.
I said it with total. He thought he knew exactly what he was talking about. It was
so that's
funny.
the Tipsy Artist.
Okay.
So and she does these face painting things.
Yeah. Okay, and there's Joe.
That's Joe.
Yeah. That's white glasses with red lenses and spiky gelled hair. He is the punk guy, isn't he?
He's a surf shop, wine bar.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, man. So this is Guthrie.
Yeah.
And this is what we love about.
What a crowd.
Oh my goodness! So it's
more people. They got to come up here. They got to come up and they got to walk around and they got to engage with people here, because you're going to meet characters like that. You're going to meet you walking around. You're going to meet Joe. You're going to meet Ray and everyone else. And it's just like, they're going to wonder why they haven't been here already.
That's right.
That's the feeling I get every time I come back. I'm like, why does it take me 4 or 5 months to come back? You're like, why don't you just come up here? Like,
you come down anytime.
Yeah, just come up.
I need to get you on. What are you doing this Saturday? Can we schedule So I'm doing Eric Saturday for the podcast, and we were going to try to get together, but either my family or something dealing with I don't know what it was. But this Saturday, you got time to come at 1?
Maybe, I have no idea.
Just check it out.
I'll have to look.
But we got to get. So then you get on my podcast.
We'll do that again.
Yeah,
definitely.
just because of time and everything. So
good. That's a good time to remind people. What is your podcast? How can everyone follow you, and how can everyone get in touch?
So headycoleman.com.
Okay.
HEADYCOLEMAN.com. You can go there and you should be able to find my social media links and all that. So you go to headycoleman.com. My front page is just all of my links and all that stuff to different things. And so, go follow, listen in on a go-in conversation. Yeah. I've interviewed Mike before for my podcast, and so for this Oklahoma, and go check it out. Yeah, awesome. Well, again, man, appreciate your time. Thanks for a warm welcome as always. And I love coming and seeing the studio and the awesome spot and some new additions to the wall. Yes. We got some Oreo Supremes. Yes. There's some Supreme Oreos. Choose Guthrie and all the good stuff up there. So thanks so much for sharing some stories. And thank you guys for listening and watching. We'll catch you next episode. Cheers. This podcast was presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who've been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com and definitely on Instagram at oklahomahof.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.